So today we are going to start up a topic named as perpetuity. Now what do you mean by perpetuity? Perpetuity means something which this is the income that you are going to receive forever. So like if you are planning to buy a bond here in the time T1 today, then you will receive income of this bond forever. So like every yearly, monthly, whatever is the bond terms, you will receive it forever. So perpetuity is related with something, income that you receive forever. Now the thing is, if you are going to have the income forever, so how will you calculate the present value of that particular perpetuity? So how will you calculate this, or the price right now? How much will you pay if you are going to receive the income forever? So the thing is, the normal formula that we had done, which is P1 plus R whole raised to power T, this cannot be applied because T is actually infinity. So you cannot apply this formula, and hence this formula cannot be used for calculation of perpetuity. There is a new way of calculation of perpetuity because T is infinite. So in that case, first of all you write down P infinity symbol equal to the annual payments that you are going to get, or annual income, the income that you are going to receive, divided by R. So R is the rate of interest. So if my question is like calculate the present value of perpetuity, if you are going to receive null term 10,000 at the rate of 10% forever. Remember, the word forever will be mentioned in the question. So how will you do this? This is very simple. P infinity is equal to 10,000 divided by 10%, which is equal to 1 lakh. So this is the answer, and this is how you will solve these questions. Annual income divided by R. Annual income that you are going to receive divided by 10%. Very simple. Perpetuity is this. Now there is one more topic that we are going to cover today, is effective rate of interest. Now what do you mean by effective rate of interest? I will tell you from an example. So I hope you remember how we calculated semi-annually compounding, semi-annually, quarterly compounding, monthly compounding. What we used to do is, we used to change our T and R. R was divided by 2 and T is multiplied by 2 when there is semi-annual compounding. Same way for quarterly, R was divided by 4 and T was multiplied by 4. Same way for monthly, R by 12 and 12T. So like that. So this is the semi-annual. So if we have annual rate of interest, so there is no change. So R and T will be the annual rate of interest. So if I take one example, say for example, my rate of interest is 10% and my T is say 2 years in case of annual, and in case of semi-annually I use the same rate of interest in time, and if my compounding is semi-annually, it will be R divided by 2. So it will be 10% divided by 2, and T will be 2 into 2, which is 4 years, and this will be 5%. Fine. Now if I apply, say for example, I have, this is example we are doing. So if I have rupees 1,000 and I have to find out the present the amount of this 1,000, say after 2 years. So what I will do, 1 plus 10% whole raised to power 2. Fine. So I will apply this 1,000. It is 1.1 whole raised to power 2, which is equal to, it will be opening and it will be 1.21 into 1,000, and hence it will be 1210. Got this? Now if I do the same thing in this, it will be 1,000 into 1 plus 10% divided by 2, which is 5%, whole raised to power 4. Actually the rate of interest is same, but it is semi-annually compounding. So that's why I have changed r by 2 and 2 into t. Fine. Now same, I will open up this 1000. Now if you calculate this, I have already calculated that it will be 1.05 whole raised to power 4. So if you calculate this, it will be 1000 into 0.2155, you can say. Fine. So if I finally get through it, it will be 1000 into this thing. So it will be 215. Sorry. So it is actually 1.2155. So if I open this, it will be 1215.5. Fine. So what I am trying to see here is the difference. So if I go by this, you can calculate by yourself. It is 1210 and it is 1215 here. So there is a difference of 5 null terms here. Fine. So why there is a difference? The difference exists because one is annual compounding, other one is semi-annual compounding. So hence, if you want to know the effective rate of interest when semi-annually, quarterly or monthly or like that is used, then you have to apply a formula of effective rate of interest. So a rate of interest will be mentioned in all the questions. So a rate of interest, say for example 12% is mentioned, and this is the question that we are starting. Say annual rate is 12%, and find out effective rate of interest if compounding is done semi-annually and quarterly. So this is the question. Annual rate of interest is 12%, and you have to find effective rate of interest if it is semi-annually or quarterly. Now the formula is very simple in case you are going to find out effective rate of interest. Formula is basically effective rate of interest is equal to 1 plus stated annual rate of interest, stated annual rate of interest divided by the compounding values like semi-annually or quarterly. I am taking the value as m, whole raised to power m minus 1. This is the formula. Now I'll explain what m is. M is basically semi-annually or quarterly or whatever is been mentioned in the question. So frequency, it is basically the frequency of a particular frequency of whatever is the question says, frequency of getting the annual income. So say for example there is this question again, 12% is the annual rate of interest and you have to calculate the effective rate of interest. So 1 plus 12% divided by, if it is semi-annually, then it will be 1 plus 12% divided by m. M semi-annually will be 2, whole raised to power 2 minus 1. So if you calculate this, you will get 0.1236, which is actually 12.36%, which is more than your 12%. So what do you mean by this? Basically, if you have been given a choice between annual rate and semi-annual rate, you will go for semi-annual rate because you are going to receive income twice a year rather than once. Annually means once in a year after the year ends. This is semi-annually. Semi-annually means twice a year. So if that's why we have applied this formula to find out what will be the increment in the rate of interest after we get if we are going for semi-annually. So it is 0.36%. We are getting more. Same way, if you are having a choice of quarterly, then it will be 1 plus 12% divided by 4. Whole raised to power 4 minus 1. So if you solve this, you will get 0.1255. Fine. So which is 12.55%. Again, if there is a choice between quarterly and semi-annually, obviously you will go for quarterly because there is a increment. Fine. And if it is obviously quarterly and annually, you will go for quarterly because there is an increment. So for getting out or for selecting between securities which are giving you semi-annual compounding or quarterly compounding, you use this effective rate of interest formula. Got this? Thank you.